Good morning, children. Now, today I'll start with the first chapter of Vistas, that is the third level, and I'll be dealing with the summary and short type question answers, which will be the probable questions that you may get in the board examination. Now, let me start with the summary. First of all, as we know, that this particular story is a science fiction, and in this story, we find our protagonist. We get an interaction of time and space and the psychological journey of our protagonist from the present to the past. Now, first of all, the story starts in a very mock heroic manner. If you see, when the very first sentence that we get, that the presidents of the New York Central and the New York New Haven. Why is Jack Finney giving the names of these stations? In order to prove himself that yes, this is the reality. To justify the reality, he gives this name. And then he says that all the presidents of these railway stations, they will swear that only 2 levels are there, but Charlie, the protagonist, he says that he will say that the third level is also there because he has witnessed the third level. And he goes and narrates, delineates the whole of it to his psychiatrist friend Sam. He tells his experience to him, and his friend, he tells that it was a waking dream. Sam says that Charlie was hallucinating, and his wife, her reaction was, she was not happy. She became unhappy when she heard about it, that her husband was hallucinating, and some way or the other he was not happy. And what Sam meant was that modern life is devoid of peace and tranquility. So in seek of solace, peace, Charlie was trying to find another level. And his friends too, they reacted in a similar manner. They said that yes, some way or the other you have this tendency of going to the past, and they justify it by saying that your philately, the stamp collection that you do, that is some way or the other proves that you want to run to the past. But Charlie is not convinced, and he tells that this was not only his, this stamp collecting hobby of his was actually started by his grandfather, who was born who belonged to the 1890s, and that was a very peaceful time, and everybody was very happy. His grandfather too was leading a very happy life then. And then he carries on to say that even President Roosevelt had the hobby of collecting stamps. And then he says, okay, let me tell actually what happened. And then Charlie, he continues, he says that one day when he was late, he was working late at night and he had to reach home fast. Instead of going by bus, he thought that he should take the subway, the underground railway. And as he went to the subway, he said that everything was okay with him. He introduces himself. He says his name is Charlie and he's 31 years old. And then he says that everything was fine. The people in the subway were also dressed like him only. So everything was normal, what he meant to say. And then he said that the Grand Central, the subway that he's talking about, we all know that it is a network. It is a huge network of underground railways, and it has levels. 2 levels is known to everybody, but Charlie witnessed the third level. And then we find that Charlie, he goes to the first level, from where again, see over here, our author, he gives us a touch of reality. He says that trains like the 20th century, fast trains like 20th century left from the first level. And then we find that Charlie, instead of going to the second level, he gets lost. And then he finds himself inside a tunnel where nobody is there, no passerby is there. And then as he is coming out, he finds a few stairs. He gets down the stairs and he finds that he is in another level, because for a second he was doubtful that it might be the second level, but then he realizes that no, it was not the second level, because things were different. He says that the rooms were smaller, there were fewer ticket windows, and the information booth, the inquiry counter was old fashioned, made up of wood, and the man behind the counter was also dressed in a old fashioned manner with green eye shade and all that. And then no electric lights were there, because the light was flickering, and he noticed that it was gas lights. And then other things also he refers to, that there were brass spittoons, and a man was there who was having gold watch, pocket watch, which was trendy during the 1890s. And then we find the dress, the men, they had mustaches and beards and all that. And Charlie, he mentions that never in his life had he seen so many mustaches, different kinds of mustaches and beards. And then he describes another woman who had dressed in the old fashioned manner, with legs of mutton sleeves and high buttoned shoes and all that. And then he also points out that there was a locomotive of Courier and Ives Company, and it had a funnel shaped stack. And then to ensure that really he was in the third level, really he had reached in the past, he wanted to ensure the time he had reached to. So we find him going to a boy who was selling newspapers, and he finds the World over there. The World, long back it had been stopped, no longer it was published, and he sees the headline in that. The lead story was about President Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th President of America, and the date on it was June 11, 1894. So Charlie had reached to the past. Charlie had been to the year 1894, and the date was June 11. And then we find that the moment he realized that, he got the idea. He was always fascinated by Galesburg. Galesburg always fascinated him, and the peace that prevailed in Galesburg, that fascinated him, and he wanted to visit the place. So he thought that he should buy 2 tickets for himself and his wife to go to Galesburg. He had enough money to buy one-way ticket, so he goes to the ticket counter and to buy the ticket. As he was counting the money, the man at the counter was giving very weird and glaring look at him. Because why was he giving? Because the money, obviously, according to him, was fake currency, and we find him threatening him. And Charlie immediately leaves the place, thinking that jail, whether it is in 1894 or in the 20th century, jail after all is a jail. And then we find that Charlie, he returns back to the 20th century from the same taking the same way back, and he goes to the bank, takes out $300 that he had in the bank, and goes and buys old currency which was available. Of course, he had to pay $300, of which he didn't even get $200, but it was more than enough, because obviously in the 18th century, in 1890s, things were much cheaper. And he gives one example. He tells that even the eggs were just 13 cents a dozen. And then after that he went on searching, but he never found the third level. Several times he went to Grand Central Station, but he could never find the third level. And Louisa, his wife, didn't like this at all. Her husband searching for the third level, and some way or the other she thought that it was something psychological was there, and her husband was not happy with things, as the friend, the psychiatrist friend Sam had said. But after that we find that even Louisa started searching. Both of them started searching for the third level. Now, what actually happened that made them search for the third level? One day, while Charlie was just going through his stamp collection, he found the first day cover. A first day cover which earlier he had not seen. Now, first day cover is the cover on which, when the stamps are issued, the people who collect stamp, who do philately, what they do is that they post a an empty envelope along with a blank paper. They put a blank paper inside that envelope, and they paste the stamp, the new stamp, and they post it to themselves, and they get that the stamp marked from the post office along with the date. That is how they get the stamps on the very first day. So that is what you call first day cover. And on that day, while he was fussing, he saw one particular first day cover which he had never seen. Someone had sent to his grandfather, and that had not been opened, because first day cover never was opened, because generally the stamp collectors, they posted to themselves only, so obviously they didn't require to open that first day cover. And when he opened that, he found that it was not a blank paper that was inside, rather a letter was there, and that letter had been written to him, to Charlie, was addressed to Charlie, and it was written by his friend Sam. And the content of the letter was that yes, Galesburg was there. Sam had found the third level, and he had reached to third level. And as Charlie had described, Galesburg was really very beautiful, very peaceful, very romantic. And in 1894, I'm talking about, and people were very very relaxed. They were singing, enjoying, and Sam too had got an invitation for lemonade and all that. And there was a request also from Sam that you and Louisa, you go on, carry on your search, try to find the third level, and do come to Galesburg. And after this, we find that Charlie, once again, to ensure that yes, really Sam had gone to the third level, we find him going to the coin store, and where he comes to know that yes, really Sam had come and he had purchased $800 worth old currency. And Charlie says that $800 old currency in 1890s was more than enough, was plenty of money. And Sam's dream always had been to live in a village in the countryside and have a hay and grain business. So easily he could start his hay and grain business. And then Charlie, he says another thing, that for Sam it wouldn't be possible to start to carry on with his old business, that is the business of the profession of being a psychiatrist, because in 1894 things were so peaceful, so good, so nice, you can say that everything was so quiet and romantic that they didn't require a psychiatrist then. People didn't need a psychiatrist then. So obviously Sam couldn't return to his own business of being a psychiatrist in 1894 in Galesburg. Okay, now this is the story. This is basically the story. And if you will find, you will see one thing, that basically what we get in the story is that Charlie is trying to escape from the modern world, problems and the worries, the fevers and fretting. So basically the theme of the story is escapism. And there are two ways to escape. Either you be realistic, pragmatic, and you act accordingly. That is one way you can escape from the fear of the fear, insecurity, the worry and stress of modern life. And there is another way of escape, that is when you try to be, you escape from reality. You try to be imaginative. You become a dreamer. You become a visionary. So that way also one can escape from the fear and insecurity of modern day life. And in this story, we see that Charlie has opted for the second option, that is he hallucinates, and through his imagination we find that he finds a third way, that is the third level. And he finds the third level, and he finds Sam reaching Galesburg and he wanting to reach the third level. Now this is the story. Now the short question answers, let me discuss that, which may be important for your board examination also. Now the first question, how does Jack Finney try to establish reality at the outset? If you have listened carefully to, I just pointed out this, that the author, when he points out, when he tells about that the president, in the very first sentence, that the presidents of the New York Central and New York, New Haven, Hartford railroads will swear. Actually, this is a company that runs the railway, and they will swear on the timetables that there are only two levels at the Grand Central Station. And another time when we get a touch of the reality is when he says that fast trains like the 20th century leaves from the first level. The second question, what does Charlie the narrator say about the third level at Grand Central Station? How does the psychiatrist's friend respond? Charlie asserts that there are 3 levels only, and his assertion is based on his personal experience. He says that he had been to the third level, and he, among others, he tells this to his friend, to his psychiatrist friend Sam also about it. And the psychiatrist friend, he said that it was hallucination, it was waking dream, wish fulfillment for Charlie, because he was unhappy with the present world, and somewhere or the other he had that wish, the desire to escape from that. Question number 3. How did Charlie, his wife Louisa, and his friends react to the psychiatrist's observation? Now, when the psychiatrist, he said Charlie that he was unhappy and he wanted to escape, Louisa, she was shocked and she became unhappy. She was like, the remark made her kind of mad. And the psychiatrist explained that the modern world was full of insecurity, fear, war and worries. And his friend also, they regarded that Charlie's stamp collecting hobby was a kind of temporary refuge from the reality. And Charlie was of the same view, and his friends, they agreed with Charlie. What arguments does Charlie offer to show his disagreement with the psychiatrist's diagnosis? When this diagnosis is given by Sam, Charlie doesn't agree with it. He says that his grandfather too had the hobby of collecting stamps, but he led a very peaceful and very happy life, and he didn't need any refuge from the reality. Everything was nice, peace and peaceful then in 1894. And then he carries on to say that President Roosevelt also collected stamps. So definitely President Roosevelt was not unhappy. Now the next question, what curious experience did Charlie have one day when he went to Grand Central to take the subway? So one day, as I said, that when he was late working and he had to return home early, he took the subway, and as he ducked into the arched doorway, he realized that he had lost his way first of all, and then the corridor, it turned left and it sloped downward. He went on, but when he realized that he was lost and he could see new things over there, but still he kept on walking. He heard a sound, he could hear the sound of his own footsteps, and he didn't pass a single passerby, not a single person. And then the tunnel turned sharp left, and he went down a short flight of stairs and came on the third level of the Grand Central Station. Next question. That's easy to do, says Charlie. What does he mean by it? What examples does he give to prove his contention? By that's easy to do, Charlie means that it is easy to get lost. Grand Central Railway, I told you that it is a network, it is a web-like network of subway of railways, and there are many exits and entries over there. So it is quite obvious that people can forget, lose their way. And we find Charlie giving two examples, that one day he came out at the Roosevelt Hotel, and another time he came up in an office building on the 46th Street, 3 blocks away. So it is quite obvious, anybody could forget. The next question. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree, pushing out new corridors and staircases like roots, says Charlie. Why does Charlie make this comparison? What exactly does he want to justify? Now, when a tree grows, the roots and the branches can spread out in any direction. What Charlie implies is that Grand Central railway was expanding like a tree, like the branches and roots of the tree. So you have many innumerable ways to come in and go out. There are different ways of escape, and so it is quite possible that it may have the tunnel in which it was. So he was justifying the tunnel that he was in. It was quite obvious that it was there and he had never seen it before. What convinced Charlie that, next question, question number 8, what convinced Charlie that he had come out of the third level at Grand Central Station and not on the second level? So there were several things that he saw, that seeing which he was confirmed that he was at the third level and not at the second level. First, we find that there were fewer ticket windows and train gates, and the enquiry counter, the information booth was old fashioned, made of wood, and it was old looking, and then brass spittoons were there, gas lights were there, no electric lights were there, and people were wearing derby hats, 4-button coats, the old fashioned, which was the fashion during the 1890s. And then we get the golden pocket watches were there, and women wearing old fashioned dress, and we get the name of the company, Locomotive Company, and the locomotive was having a chimney, furniture stack. So all these differences are there, which proclaims rather that Charlie was in the third level and not in the second level. What do you think helped Charlie to establish the exact date of his wandering down in the third level at Grand Central Station? So, after seeing all these things, the men with beards and mustaches and all that, and the women, the way they were dressed, so he realized that the fashion was not of 20th century but of 1890s. And then finally, to ensure, to be confirmed, we find him going to the newspaper boy and getting and seeing a newspaper, The World, which was published during the 1890s, and he sees that on it the leading story was of President Cleveland, and the date also was of 11 June 1894. What do you learn about Galesburg, Illinois in 1894? Galesburg is described as a beautiful town having big old frame houses, huge lawns, and the branches of the trees were very huge, and the branches of the trees were spread overhead, and they met each other and covered the streets. And the summer evenings in Galesburg would be long, because people would have a relaxed time. People would sit in the lawns, and the men would smoke cigars, talking quietly, and the women, they would have a very relaxing time, waving palm leaf fans, and there would be fireflies all around. So overall, it was a very peaceful world that Galesburg had before the two world wars of the 20th century. How did the booking clerk try to size up the narrator while calculating the fare? The booking clerk glanced at the narrator's headband, and obviously the narrator, Charlie, we find that he was dressed like a 20th century person, and moreover, when he was counting the money was the currency of 20th century, not the old currency which was prevalent in the 19th century in 1890s. So he gave a very glaring look at Charlie. Question number 12. Why do you think did the booking clerk refuse to accept the money? Why did the narrator get out? So he refused, obviously, because the currency, it didn't belong to the 19th century, to 1890s, and he must have thought that it was fake currency, and the man Charlie was trying to cheat him, and Charlie escaped from there, because that would take him, forgery would take him to jail, and jail, whether it was in 1890s or in the 20th century, jail after all was a jail. Prison is always a prison. Question number 13. What sort of money did the booking clerk expect to be paid? Again, I have already told this answer. He expected old currency, which actually was the old style bills that was prevalent during the 1890s. And when he glanced, and this was known to Charlie, because when he saw the drawer next to the man, he saw that it was full of old currency bills, not the new one. What happened when Charlie went to the Grand Central Station with the old style currency bills? When he later he came back, he went to the bank and he got his money, bought the old currency bills, and when he went there, he never could reach the third level again. He went on, but he could never. So once again, he went back to his old hobby of collecting stamps. And later we find both Louisa and Charlie searching for the third level. Who was Sam Weiner? Sam Weiner was Charlie's psychiatrist friend. What had happened to him? He had disappeared. Nobody knew where he was, and the narrator Charlie suspected that he had gone to Galesburg. What was the narrator's suspicion? The narrator suspected that he had gone to Galesburg because many a times Charlie had told him about Galesburg, that where he had gone to school, and Sam he was like he would listen to the experience of Charlie, and that would sound very good to him, and the place would sound very good to him, and he always must have harbored that desire to go there to Galesburg. So Charlie thought that Sam was in Galesburg in 1894. What do you know about the first day cover? First day cover, when stamps are issued, then the new stamp, the stamp collectors, they buy some and they paste them and mail the envelopes to themselves by putting just a blank paper inside it. That way the stamps are stamped, marked by the post office with date, and it is received on the very first day by the stamp collectors. So that proves the date of the issue, and that envelope is called the first day cover. What did the narrator come across? Was he surprised? This is question number 17. One night the narrator was fussing with the stamp collection and he came across the first day cover that shouldn't have been there, and it had been mailed to Charlie's grandfather in Galesburg, and the date was July 18, 1894, and Charlie had never seen that envelope before, so that was the reason he didn't remember it. And perhaps, as I said, that the stamp collectors, they never opened the first day covers, so it must have remained there, and after coming in the mail, and all of these things, it surprised Charlie. What did the note inside the first day cover reveal? The note was not actually a blank paper. It was a letter that had been sent by Sam to Charlie. Sam had written the letter from Galesburg on 18 July 1894, and it was addressed to Charlie, and it revealed that Sam had found the third level, and last 2 weeks he had been in Galesburg enjoying the company of the beautiful people over there, the carefree people, the song, the music, everything he was enjoying over there. And at the end we find him advising both Charlie and Louisa to carry on with their search of third level, because it is worth it. It is worth coming to Galesburg. How had Sam reached Galesburg? What did he advise Charlie to do? So in the note, Sam explained how actually he reached. He said that he started wishing that Charlie was right, and then he started believing him that he was right, and his belief, it became stronger day by day, and then he found the third level, and he was, as Charlie had advised, he was there in the third level. And after that, Sam advised Charlie to carry on, keep looking for the third level till he found it. What did Charlie learn about Sam from the stamp and coin store? So from the stamp and coin store, he came to know that Sam had really come. Sam had really come to, and he had bought 800 $800 old currency from there, and obviously after that he had reached Galesburg of 1890. Thank you. This much will be enough. Thank you.